Hi everyone, it's Adrian Leah. I feel like this is going to be an interesting video because of what happened before I started filming, and I think the items are going to be nice to talk about too. So I wanted to talk about my new flame stick, and this is a poinciana branch that was given to me by my husband while we were walking around Veteran Affairs, and that seems sentimental, and also it goes into the symbology of what I feel like this represents for me. So I love finding things in nature, and I feel like this is more of an initiatory type of object. So the poinciana tree has wonderful flowers. They're bright red, and it's often nicknamed the flame tree, the peacock tree, the phoenix tail, and the call of the forest. So it goes into the type of symbolism that it is for me, and it reminds me of the Hermit and going within and having that torch and being able to go into that part of my journey where I'm going within, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to be able to manifest outward. So I thought that this was an amazing find. This also reminds me of the stang I got when I was in New England, and I was led to the forest by a rabbit, and the rabbit kept stopping to make sure I was following it. And when I got into the forest to where the stang was, it leaped into the ground, and it looked like it went into nothing, which goes into my meditative cards for today too. So I have this stand where I put my cards. I actually don't have the cards on here right now, but I did before I spilled the herbal powder, and it was already burned. So I cleaned it off, and the cards that I was meditating on today were Aquamarine from the Crystal Oracle, the Two of Pentacles from my deck, and this is actually my late rabbit, and the Ocean Oracle and Forest Oracle. So I got Reverie and Nostalgia. What I love about meditating with the cards is that I can put them on the stand on my desk. So right now I use relaxed, calm decks that aren't too in your face, but it's something to think about during the time that I'm at my desk. So the Ocean and Forest Oracle are together in here. And I love how the Aquamarine was talking about being able to be gentle and to move forward it's also a nice close-up too. I love the Crystal Oracle. It's the only oracle that I connect with, Crystal Oracle that I connect with. So since I am pretty early into the video, I could talk about the meaning behind it. If you guys want to pause it, and then there's the general symbolism at the top too. So, moderation, energy, tolerance, gentleness, compassion, feminine, goddess. Whether male or female, you can overcome a current conflict by reflecting upon and applying moderation, tolerance, gentleness, and compassion. These qualities are not weakness, rather than they are strengths. What are called for at present is greater compassion and tolerance, for coupled with little patience and gentleness, it is possible to resolve things in an amicable way to create a positive outcome for all concerned. As you look back on this current episode, you'll release a valuable lesson. Compassion and tolerance are signs of maturity and strength of character and qualities that infuse all with love and light. And another thing that I love about this deck is that it's straightforward. So it's not... Well, generally, the oracles seem to have a I wouldn't say nicer message, but I like how it's honest, that it's not too nice. So I was told to meditate for this on this card for another day, which is today because I got it yesterday. And I loved how I got this card from the Ocean Oracle that said vulnerability and love rocks in the background. So it can be different things that you're meditating on. So one of the meditations that I got from it was to love rocks. So I'm an herbalist, and that's what I went to school for. I'm not completely into crystals, but I do love the ones that I'm into. So this deck helps deepen that connection. And this one reminded me of going down the rabbit hole and looking back and being able to reflect on past experiences. So another thing that I was doing today was reading and using a deck with the books that I was reading. Sorry, I'm putting stuff away to clear space. I was told by the Morgan that bag that I'm using for the Raven's Prophecy Tarot is larger because it's going to be an altar that I can carry around. So this is the bag. Also, it seems reminiscent of the culture that the Morgan stems from. So I'm actually doing mother-daughter relationship work with the Raven's Prophecy. It's one of my inner child decks. It seems a bit odd to say that. Well, if you were to hear that, maybe that would be odd to you. It's not odd to me. And I am taking the journey of nature along with my journey. So I love what I read so far, and now I'm on to entering another realm. So I'm almost done the book. I found it at a metaphysical shop. It was on sale, and it has my name in it as one of the dedications. It's not spelled the same way my name is spelled, but I did take the hint, and it talks about fairies, and entering the realm is the fairy realm for the deck, or not the deck, for the book. Also, I'm reading the stories of the Mother line. I've had this book for a while, Reclaiming the Mother-Daughter Bond, Finding Our Feminine Souls. If you guys have been watching me for a while, so this isn't my first channel. I actually had a second channel, but that turned into my reading channel. So this is newer than my last channel, but I have a bit of a strained relationship with my mom. It's not a terrible relationship, but there's a bit of a disconnect there, and I feel like the Raven's Prophecy really speaks to my inner child, because I feel like I had a bit of a dark one. In fact, I don't remember most of my childhood because I did have an attachment, and to put it forward, I was possessed at times. When I was finding myself being in that situation, I didn't really realize what was going on, and there was more tension with my mom, because my mom and dad were strict in general. So after that experience, they were more strict. But I do have heart problems, and one of the heart problems is long QT, so my heart beats can be too fast or too slow. And when I was younger, I was walking down the stairs, and my heart just stopped. I was going down the stairs. I feel like that wasn't just what happened, because it was, the way that my right leg was, it felt like I was dead-legged. So I did get to the bottom of the stairs, and then I saw white, and I saw specks of light, and I feel like within the light I saw specks of light, and I sensed it as being Fae. And I've always had a close connection with the Fae. I had forests near my house. I had a forest and stream right behind my house, and I would go to the forests around my house and just hang out there, especially because I went to schools that were far away, so I didn't have a lot of people to hang out with at the time, and I was shy. But dying from that experience of when I fell down the stairs, it really heightened my abilities, and so this attachment got more apparent, and I had different visions and different dreams where the spirit would get closer. So it started off like in the kitchen, in the washroom area next to the kitchen, then it would be at the bottom of the stairs, then it would be in my closet, and so there was discomfort. So I actually went to the room next to my room to stay there instead. And it was kind of typical of the room at the end of the hallway. My room was the farthest room from my parents and my brother, and then next to my room was the guest room. So I feel like it was an easy target type of thing, and my mom would say that I would go black, like my eyes would just be black, and I had strange mannerisms, like I would go to the basement in the dark, just sit. My basement was furnished, so I wasn't just like in a random basement, but I would just sit at the table in the dark, and then she would find me. And then there was this other time where I was in my room, and I felt like it was a good idea to sit on my windowsill, and there was in a balcony, and because my mentality was I wanted to fly. So it was a bit strange in that occurrence too. But my mom is a spiritual woman, and she actually got me to have 2 exorcisms, and that cleared that. But then when I was in middle school, I went to the library one day, and I picked up this book of witchcraft, and I didn't know why I did it, but I just did. And I never really read it, but I kept it, and I remember it distinctively. It had a smoke smell. And I feel like this ties into like the stuff that I've been talking about today in this video. Hopefully it wasn't too random. I feel like there was a bit of a flow to it, but I feel like this is a great initiation stick and my torch for my journey at this time. I'm going to double check to see if I want to say anything else. I'm just going to pause it because I do have 2 more minutes on this. So I'll just show the deck, even though it's been out for a while. I do feel more confirmation. I also have my tarot reading certification too, and I've been reading for over 9 years. So my favorite card is the Nine of Cups in here, because it's that glimmer that is in the darkness. Not that the darkness is a bad thing, but it reflects on those situations where things may be going wrong, but it's for a reason, and then it gets better. I guess it's a little bit of something to keep you going, but I love this as an inner child deck. And my time is going, so I'm just going to keep going with this. I wanted to say that I feel validated for my path, because this is random, but for Llewellyn decks, a lot of the decks come out on my birthday in October. And I also feel a deep connection with the Raven's Prophecy Tarot, because I feel like it's watery. So the creator of this deck Maggie Stiefvater is also coming out with another deck, and it's the Scorpio Moon Tarot, and my moon's in Scorpio, and exactly half of my chart's in Scorpio. When I saw the images, it didn't really give me that Scorpio energy like this deck does. But I've only seen 3 images. I hope I didn't show you guys too much of the same pictures. I feel like it has the Raven's personality, as I was saying in my Invoking the Morgan video. And I love how it's sharp and a little cunning, and it has a bit of the trickster energy that Fae exude too. Which I feel like my deck portrays in different ways too. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was an interesting video, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.